Hello YouTube and welcome. In this video I would like to do with you the unboxing of this starter kit for the new set Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. So in the other side of the pack we can read "Welcome to the Fellowship. Experience the epic story of Lord of the Rings like you never see it before. Gear up for your first games with the Lord of the Rings team decks, each with 4 rare cards and a foil mythic rare card, and codes for you and your friend to receive them in Magic the Gathering Arena. The interactive online tutorial will take you through all the basics, and then the forces of Middle-earth will be yours to command. So in this package we get the 2 ready-to-play 60 card decks, a Magic play guide, the codes, and 2 deck boxes. So let's see what cards do we get in this one. Put it aside. So here we have the 2 deck box with great art for this set, of course. So we have here the first deck box and the second one with exactly the same art. Nice. Okay, nothing difference between them. The starter kit play guide, so with all the basic information to start playing the game. And next we have our decks. So some tokens, food tokens. This one has also food tokens, put it apart. So let's start with this one. So we have Aragorn and Arwen pets. So 6 drops, he has vigilance. Whenever Aragorn and Ariel Wedge enters on the battlefield or attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. You gain 1 life for each other creature you control, and it is a 3/6. Now opening the rest of our deck. Let's see. So here we have Frodo, Determinate Hero, 2 drops. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, you may attach target equipment you control with mana value 2 or 3 to Frodo. As long as it is your turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Frodo, and it is a 2/2. Gandalf White Rider. 4 drops, he has vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell, creatures you control gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. Scry 1. When Gandalf the White Rider dies, you may put into his owner's library 5th from the top. And it is a 3/3. Ooh, nice. Galadriel Gift Giver. 5 drops. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature. Create a food token or create a treasure token, and it is a 4/4. Bilbo's Ring, 3 drops. As long as it is your turn, the keep creature has X-proof and can be blocked. Whenever you keep creature attacks alone, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. For equip a halfling, cost 1. For equip another type of creature, it is 4. Interesting. Knight of the Keep, 3 drops. It is a 3/2. And we have 3 copies. Wasteful Rider, 2 drops, sacrifice it. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Activate only as a sorcery, and it is a 3/1. Eastmark Cavalier. 2 drops, has vigilance. Whenever it deals combat damage to a goblin or orc, destroy that creature, and it is a 2/2. Eastfarthing Farmer. 3 drops. When he enters the battlefield, create a food token. When you do, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn for each food you control, and it is a 2/3. Protector of Gondor. 4 drops. When he enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token, and it is a 3/3. And we have 2 copies of it. Dunedale Blades. 2 drops. Equip creature gets +2/+1. Equip a human, cost 1. Equip another type of creature, costs 3. Second Breakfast. 3 drops. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+1 until the end of the turn, and create a food token. Rosy Cotton, the South Lane. 3 drops. When he enters the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever you create a token, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than Rosy, and it is a 1/1. Banishing Light. 3 drops. When he enters the battlefield, assign target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. And we have 2 of them. Landroval Horizon Witness. 5 drops. He has flying. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attacks a player, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until the end of the turn, and it is a 3/4. You Cannot Pass. 1 drop. Destroy target creature that blocked or was blocked by a legionary creature this turn. Mushroom Watchdogs. 2 drops. Sacrifice a food. Put a +1/+1 counter on Mushroom's Watchdog. It gains vigilance until the end of the turn. Activate it only as a sorcery, and it is a 2/2. And we have 2 copies. Wolf's Pathfinder. 2 drops. Tap it, add a mana of any color, and for 7 tap it, another target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until the end of the turn, and it is a 1/1. And we get 2 copies. Bag and Porter. 4 drops. Whenever Bag and Porter attacks, he gets +X/+X until the end of the turn, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control, and it is a 4/4. We also get 2. Generous Ant. 6 drops. He has Reach. Whenever he enters the battlefield, create a food token. He has Forest Cycling for 1, and it is a 5/7. Many Partings. 1 drop. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put in your hand, then shuffle, create a food token. And we have 2 copies. Galadrim Bow. 3 drops. He has Flash. When enters the battlefield, attach to a target creature you control and tap that creature. Keep creature gets +1/+2 and has Reach, and it has a keep cost of 2. Meriadoc Brandybuck. 2 drops. Whenever 1 or more halflings you control attacks a player, create a food token, and it is a 2/2. Peregrine Took. 3 drops. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. Sacrifice 3 foods, draw a card, and it is a 2/3. Stew the Connois. 3 drops. Target creature you control deals damage equal to his power to target creature you don't control. Create a food token. Butterbur Bree Innkeeper. 4 drops. As the beginning of your end step, if you don't control a food, create a food token, and it is a 3/3. Shire Terrace. Tap it for a colorless mana. For 1, tap it, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield, tap it, and shuffle. And we get 2 of them. Repelled Refuge. Enters the battlefield, tap it. When he enters the battlefield, gain 1 life. Tap it for a green or white mana. And we get 2 of them. And now the basic land cards. So we have forests and of course plains. So this is the deck for the Argon and Arwind Wet. Now let's see the other one, the Sauron. Already opened this one. So first of all we get Sauron the Lidless Eye, 5 drops. When he enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until the end of the turn. Untap it, indicate gain haste until the end of the turn. And for 3 creatures you control gets +2/+0 until the end of the turn. Each opponent loses 2 life, and it is a 4/4. Continuing with our deck, so we have Golem Shaming Guide, 2 drops. Whenever he attacks, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put them back in any order, then choose land or non-land. An opponent guesses wherever the top card of your library is the chosen kind, reveal it that card. If they guess it right, remove Golem from combat. Otherwise, you draw a card and Golem can't be blocked this turn. And it is a 2/1. Crazy. Witch King, Bringer of Ruin, 6 drops, he has flying. Whenever he attacks, defending players sacrifice a creature with the last power among creatures they control, and it is a 5/3. Fires at Mount Doom, 3 drops. When he enters the battlefield, deals 2 damage to target creature and opponent controls, destroy all equipment attached to that creature, and for 3, exile the top cards of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you play a card this way, Fires of Mountain Doom deals 2 damage to each player. The Balrog Flame of Ulum, 5 drops. He has trample. Whenever a legendary creature an opponent controls die, put the Balrog Flame of Ulum on the bottom of his owner library, and it is a 7/7. Crazy. Goblin Assailant, 2 drops. It is a 2/2, and we have 3 copies of each. Easterling Vanguard, 2 drops. When he dies, amass orcs for 1, and it is a 2/1. 2 copies. Feed the Swarm, 2 drops. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Get also 2. Dunland Kerbane, 3 drops, he has flying. When he enters the battlefield, amass orcs 2, and it is a 1/1. We get 2. Mordor Trebuchet, 3 drops, he has a defender. Whenever you attack with 1 or more goblins and or orcs, create a 2/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with flying, name it Ballistic Boulder, that is tapped and attacking, sacrifice that token at the end of the combat, and it is a 1/4. And we get 2 of them. Snarling Wrath, 4 drops, he has menace. As long as you control a goblin or orc, he gets +1/+0, and it is a 3/4. Shelob's Ambush, 1 drop, target creature gets +1/+2 and gains death touch until the end of the turn. Create a food token. Nasty End, 2 drops. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, draw 3 cards instead. Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant, 4 drops. When Gothmog enters the battlefield, amass orcs for 1. Creature tokens you control have that touch, and it is a 3/3. Voracious Fell Beast, 6 drops, flying. When enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifice a creature, create a food token. For each creature, sacrifice it this way, and it is a 4/4. Swarming of Moria, 3 drops, create a treasure token. Amass orcs for 2. Olog High Crusher, 4 drops, he has trample. He can't block unless you control a goblin or orc, and it is a 4/4. And we get 2 of them. Oliphant, 6 drops, he has trample. Whenever he attacks, another target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample until the end of the turn. And he has Mountain Cycling for 1, and it is a 6/4. Cast into the fire, 2 drops. Choose one, cast into the fire, deals 1 damage to each up to 2 target creatures or exile target artifact. Fire of Orthanc, 4 drops, destroy target artifact or land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. Goblin Fire Leaper, 2 drops, for 2 he gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. When he dies, he deals damage equal to his power to target creature and opponent controls, and it is a 1/1. Grishnak Brush Instigator, 3 drops. When he enters the battlefield, amass orcs 2. When you do, until the end of the turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature and opponent controls with power 2 less than or equal to the amass army's power. Untap that creature, it gains haste until the end of the turn, and it is a 1/1. Foray of Orcs, 4 drops. Amass Orcs for 2. When you do Foray, the Orcs deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the number of amass army's power. And we have 2 of them. Mohuruko Ai Captain, 2 drops, he has menace. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put onto an army goblin or orc you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put it instead, and it is a 2/2. Ugluk the White Hands, 4 drops. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If that creature was a goblin or orc, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it is a 3/3. And we have Mindstone, 2 drops. Tap it for a colorless mana. For 1, tap it, sacrifice it, draw a card. And finally we have Involving Wilds. Tap it, sacrifice it, search a library for your basic land cards, put in the battlefield, tap it, then shuffle, and we get 4 of them. Now we have the basic land cards, of course, the swamps and the mountains. And this is the Sauron side of the deck. So this is what I have to share with you. I hope you like it, you enjoy it. Until the next time, see you.